Welcome to today's bite-sized learning. Today we're going to be talking about how I like to structure all of my Terraform projects. It doesn't matter whether I'm creating a single project that has a lot of composite bits of infrastructure, or if I'm creating a Terraform module. This is the general structure that I like to define my Terraform. The first thing that I create is a versions TF file, and this holds the Terraform block where I define all of my provider constraints and versions that I need when setting up my Terraform projects. The next file that I produce is a variables TF file. This is where I declare every single variable that I need inside of my project. All of the variables live in the same file, so it's easy to find and reference later. Outputs is where I stick all of my outputs. These are things that are served up when the Terraform plan and apply are run. They are output directly into the CLI after the project is finished executing. Main TF is the entry point of any project that I create. It is where I define my resources. There can be other files in lieu of main TF. Some people like to group similar resources together inside of their own uniquely named TF files. That's fine. I typically like to start with a main TF because main is a very common kind of nomenclature across different languages for like the entry point of projects. The locals file is where I define all of my local values. These are values that aren't directly configurable with variables. However, you can use variables to define their value. You can also statically define properties that you want to pass into other resources. These are things that users of your Terraform project generally don't have direct access to. They have to sort of leverage variables or change these statically. The data file, the data TF, is where I like to define all of my data sources. So these are things that Terraform wants to reference for the sake of provisioning your project, but it doesn't necessarily want to maintain directly inside of your state file. You'll see here that this references a file. I like to stick all of my files that I need to reference in a files folder. And if I have any templates, I will also create sort of a templates folder. I guess I already have one here, but it doesn't have any templates defined in this particular project. And then for all of my TFRs that are different between environments, I like this structure of defining an envs file with a folder for each environment that is sort of provisionable with the values of the particular TF vars specific to that environment. In this case, I'm just overriding the environment name depending on which environment I want. When I run a Terraform init like this, it's going to provision some extra things. These are things that don't normally get checked in. They just exist at runtime. It'll create a .terraform folder that has the local downloads of the providers that my project needs to reference. It'll also provision a lock HCL file. This is a sort of pinning for those particular provider hashes to ensure that the provider versions don't change on you down the road when you are updating things like dependencies, or when you run a plan and apply, they don't substitute out a hash that you don't expect in your providers. This is how I like to structure my Terraform. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've found this to be the best way to work. When I run my Terraform plans, I'll show you an example of invoking my environment 1 and my environment 2. So I'll run a Terraform plan with the var file, flag, pass in my environment 1. You'll see that the output for this is printing out the value of my environment name variable. You'll see here that this prints out environment 1. If I reference my environment 2 file when I run the plan, you'll see that the output changes. So this is proving that the segregation of the TFRs are actually working. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will have more Terraform content out shortly. Thank you. Have a great day.